Absolutely, we need to get started. So thank you so much for signing up and for being here. I'm Gabor, but you see my name, I think, on the screen, and Matt as well. And so we are a couple of social studies teachers, high school social studies teachers, but we work in the Future Ready department as TOSAs this year, and we really liked. When was it? Last year, we did go through the Google training certification program, and I think both of us found it really, really valuable, and we just wanted to encourage others to train and to get certified, and because we feel that the training itself was very valuable, and it would help people in their teaching and the ways they use Google tools with their students. And so we kind of created this course to give people a way to kind of do it together. I mean, it's a little bit of an alone together thing, but we can, kind of encourage you along the way and things like that.
What we found is we talked to someone who took the Google certification 5 years ago, and supposedly it wasn't that good. It was just a bunch of multiple choice questions it was almost like Trivial Pursuit. Mm-hmm. This Google certification level 1, and then you can go on to 2 if you would like. You can go on to be an innovator or a trainer as well. But part of the test puts you in a virtual environment, like in a school, and you have hands-on tasks that you need to do, and using a variety of tools. And we weren't expert on all the tools necessarily. For example, we were weaker with Google Sheets, but we did a lot of cool stuff. Learned a lot of cool stuff, with all the Google tools. And I guess one of the limitations was, there was a section on Google Mail, and obviously we use Outlook. And so we had to study up on that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But after we took the 3-hour certification test, and it did take the full 3 hours, we were like, wow, that was a pretty good test. We learned a lot, and it was legitimate. And it felt like it meant something.
Yeah, and the entire thing is online. Like we didn't come up with the curriculum or anything. We're just gonna, show you guys where to find it, and then there are modules to work through with practice units and practice sections, and then it does take some time. And we did go through it. You can, if you're pretty savvy with some of the Google tools, you can maybe think about. Maybe if you feel like, hey, I know I use Google Slides all the time, I'm really good with it, then maybe you don't have to spend that much time on it. But other things, it's really in depth, but in a good way, not in a kind of gotcha kind of way. And so we really liked it. There was a lot of good philosophical pieces as well. Yes, they do want you to use Google tools, but they give really pedagogically sound reasons for using those tools that we felt were really spot on and just impressive, really. So has anybody been on the Google Educator site yet, the website that they have? You haven't seen it. Okay, well let me just quickly do a screen share for me, so you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to keep talking, but then you'll see this. Yeah, there you go. So there's a Google Education Training Center, and it kind of has a nice opening page, and then if you go to click on trainings, they offer 2 educator trainings, level 1 and level 2, and they mostly cover the same tools, but level 2 goes more in depth. And at the end of the trainings, and if you can just register, you have to sign in with your education account. I think it's recommended that you do it with your school account as opposed to like a private Gmail or something. And then it's really easy. It takes you through all the modules. And then at the end, you can decide to go for a certification, which is this exam. There is a fee for the exam that you would have to pay. It's $10, I believe, for the level 1 certification. But if you complete the exam and get your certification, then we will, the district will reimburse you. Actually, there's a $50 stipend.
Mm-hmm.
There's a $50 stipend. So, just a little bit of a token of appreciation for your time and effort that you put in, because you will have to put in, time on your own to review all the materials. This wouldn't just be on these Wednesdays. I mean, you have to self-pace and go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And our thinking was, this session will probably end in about 10 minutes. But the format is show you the training center, and then we'll check in with you in a couple weeks, probably via email, just say how's it going. You can email us at any time. And then we'd meet again next month to go over any questions that anyone would have. And then you can always take the test alone. What we did last time for our first cohort is we set up a room here at Beaverton High School for 3 hours, and we bring extra computers. Most people take the test with 2 computers, one that they're testing on, and one you can look up stuff if you have a question. But really, the test is written so, like I said, it's not a Trivial Pursuit game, but you can use another computer to check out, if you have a question, to double check your thinking. And then, so it's really a 2 week 3 meetings, and they won't last the whole hour and a half. We're here to help, but your main training will be in the Google training.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any questions or things that you're wondering about based on what we've been talking about?
Is it that, if I just follow the website, is it that self-explanatory?
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's really step by step, and it's really it's all laid out. Yeah.
And what is the time requirement for getting through the course before the 3-hour exam? Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
There really is no time requirement. Some people, like we had one coworker who said, I know most of this stuff. And so she just looked at a few modules, brushed up, and took it and passed. I'm guessing, you might spend 5 to 10 hours reviewing stuff just at your leisure.
Okay.
And it wasn't, for me, it wasn't, drudgery, because I was learning new stuff. And if it ever does feel like total drudgery, then just go on to another unit, if you already know it, and it's.
Okay, so there's no time requirement before we take the exam?
No time requirement. You could sign up for the exam now and take it if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm like a whiz, but I feel decent with it. So I just want to know I don't know if there's any, some programs require you to go through a certain number of courses before they let you, or anything like that.
No, I think you can register, even without going through the training modules and stuff. Well, but if you happen to not pass, I think there's some, you can retake it within maybe 48 hours or something. And then, and if it's not successful again, then you have to wait longer and some stuff like that. So there's some rules around it.
Okay, sounds good.
I have a question. So do we all have to sign up for the test and then sit down in the same room at the same time to take the test, or?
No.
No, we just set aside a room mostly because you really need a place that you can focus. And
Okay.
some teachers have families at home
Mm-hmm.
or young kids,
Mm-hmm.
or they get distracted at home, or they needed an extra computer.
Okay.
So for example, we had a couple people in our first cohort, and they were saying, you know what, it's nice that you set aside a room for us, but we're going to do it, like one guy did it in his classroom.
Mm-hmm.
He just locked the door and did it, and then came and showed us or emailed his, you get a certificate.
Okay.
That shows that you passed, and then you can, if you want to, you can put an email signature or an email a badge on the bottom of your email if you'd like.
Okay. So this would be our only meeting then before we get our certificate?
We'll meet once more in December for 15 to 20 minutes just to check in, see where you guys are, see if you have any questions,
Okay.
give you any final instructions. But it's set up, I mean, you can email us at any time if you want to. If you're like, hey, I'm not sure about this, or does this work? You're just here to, to help be facilitators through the process.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Well,
what is the difference between level 1 and level 2?
yeah, I think the difference is level 2 just goes more in depth. I think it covers the same tools, but I think it just maybe increases the complexity a little bit, and may include a couple of units or topics that weren't covered in the first one. But I would say probably 75 to 80% of the material is just something that's already been discussed in level 1, but they just want you to do different things with it and just show different kinds of mastery of the skills with it.
And then there's, I think, some digital citizenship stuff.
Yeah, I think that was new. Yeah, that was exclusive to level 2 maybe, or something.
Digital citizenship, and maybe some more systemic things.
Are we supposed to do both levels or just level 1?
I think, I can't remember. Maybe level 2 was the one with the digital citizenship piece.
I think the digital citizenship was in level 2.
Yeah.
And what to get to complete this course for the PD? You mean to do both levels?
No. What our thinking is that we'd offer 2 cohorts in the fall, and see how many people decided to go through with taking the test, and then in the spring we try to secure some money so people wanted to go through level 2.
Okay.
And it might be that a few people, if you want to, you can go on and you can get a trainer certificate, which is slightly different, but you can get certified to be a Google trainer, which if you're ever interested in giving PD places, or even within our district, to say, yeah, I'm a Google trainer, it's helpful. I think it's good for your building too.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there is a course evaluation link that I'm going to send out, and again, I guess you're just kind of, this course is a little unique. It isn't, we don't have like a PowerPoint here that we're going through with you and stuff like that, but we're just more like guiding you towards a resource and giving you some ways to support you as you're going to do it. But so, put whatever you like, but I'll send that link on the chat here, because we want to have that for you guys.
One of our things is TOSA's. We're working with Week3, and everyone has different experiences of it, but we're trying to get everyone who offers a course to get course evaluation so we can make it better. and improve over time. So, and we've gotten good feedback on all our courses, and actually really good suggestions from teachers on how to make things better.
Mm-hmm.
Will we get that
So
the course, or for the course of eval, are we going to get emailed that, or how do we do
no,
that?
no, it's on the chat right now. If you
Is
have the
that-
chat open.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I guess if you guys want to, because once we end this session, the chat's going to go away. So, you know, maybe you could, if you, I think probably a good idea to just either go to the link right now and then it will open up on your browser and then you'll have it, or just copy and paste the link somewhere that I put on here, because once we end the session, all that text you won't have access to it. The chat access. All right. Well, yeah. Any? I guess then that's really it from us.
Yeah, well, check in. Well, you'll get an email from us in a couple of weeks just to say hello, and then we'll see you next. We'll see you next month in December.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.